Welcome back. I'm Travis with Linux Academy. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to manage stop containers. When it comes to managing stop containers, there's a number of things we can do. We can go and delete them individually. We can execute a Docker container prune and delete all stop containers, or we can go and start them back up. We're going to go and start off by executing a Docker container ls. We're going to be using the A flag so we can list all containers, as well as the Q flag. The Q flag stands for quiet and is only going to list the IDs of the containers. Listing containers this way can be pretty handy because we can go and pass these IDs off to a script and have a script go and manipulate our containers in some way. The issue here is that this is listing all containers, both stopped as well as running. However, we can go and filter the results. So this time I'm going to execute Docker container ls using the A flag and then the F flag, which allows us to use a filter. I'm going to go and filter the results based off of all containers that have a status of exited. And this is going to go and filter out any containers that are currently running. Now, if I just want to get the container IDs, I can add the Q flag back in. And this will give me back a list of IDs of containers that have been stopped. Now, this is more useful than the previous example because I can take all of these IDs and go and restart them using a bash script. Now I can go and take this exact same command and then pipe it over to word count, and we get the total number of containers that are stopped. So based off of what we just learned, I'm going to go and grep for my Prometheus container. So I'm going to list all containers, and I'm going to filter off the status of exited. And yes, my Prometheus container has been stopped. So now I'm going to go and start Prometheus by executing a Docker container start. I can go and supply the ID or the name of the container. Now when I go and I grep for Prometheus again, we don't have the status of exit anymore. The container is now running. This time I want to go and search for weather app containers that have been stopped. We use Docker container rm to go and delete containers. We can give it a single container ID, a container name, or a list of container IDs or names. In this example, I'm going to go and delete this container right here by supplying the ID. Now I'm going to go and grep for the weather app again. The container is no longer in the list. Now I'm going to go and delete the first three containers by executing a Docker container rm and then supplying the IDs of the containers. We do get the output, which confirms that things have been deleted. And if I go and grep for my containers again, you can see that we only have 3 remaining. Now the last thing we're going to do is execute a Docker container prune, and this is going to go and delete all of the stop containers. You will get a warning that this is going to remove all stop containers, and just enter Y. And this command will take a bit to complete. When it's done, we'll get a list of container IDs that have been removed, along with the total of reclaimed space. Now we can go and execute a Docker container ls to see what we have remaining. We have 2 containers that are remaining. We have the Prometheus container, which we restarted, as well as the always restart container, because this container has been set up to always restart. So when I went and restarted the Docker service, this container started back up again. That's all I have for this lesson. Go ahead and mark it complete.